Welcome to I.Am.Institute. My name is Myrna and I am the founder of I.Am.Institute. We are a monthly virtual conversation designed for Black and brown women where we discuss issues that are unique to Black and brown women. Not only do we have these monthly discussions, but we look for solutions and how to overcome these challenges. Today, I'm so excited to have with me my dear friend, Susie Turner.
Hi, Myrna.
Hi, Susie. I'm so excited that you're here.
Thanks.
So, Susie, earlier this year, I.Am.Institute had an episode that focused on intimately passionate. Mm-hmm. And you were one of the 4 women that were a part of that episode.
Exactly.
Do you remember that?
I do remember that, yes.
Yeah. That was a really great discussion.
Absolutely.
We had an opportunity to really hear about some of the unique initiatives that these women are doing within the Columbus area.
Powerful.
Yes.
Powerful women.
Yeah.
Yes.
Well,
okay.
She's doing well.
Coming in good and clear.
Okay. So you ready to start, babe? Well, again, I want to welcome you to I.Am.Institute. This episode, I want to do a deeper dive on your story and how it relates to intimately passionate. So let's just start out, Susie, with you telling us about Susie Turner.
Hi, I'm Susie Turner, owner of Gray and I Slay. I am a believer in Jesus Christ.
Okay.
I am a mom, I'm a grandmother, and recently retired.
Okay.
And I am the owner of Gray and I Slay.
Okay.
And so my history of entrepreneurship starts with my father. I always have to bring him into the picture because he was an example to all of his children and to his siblings and to just to the whole family of how he was a coal miner. And he had this large family. My parents had 11 children, so he had all of these children, and he had a lot of mouths to feed.
Right.
And so not only was and he was a preacher, who's a pastor as well. And back in those days, there were no mega ministries. There were no large churches to where he was on salary. That wasn't happening. And so anyway, so he just kind of had to make a living for himself and for all of his children, which he did. So he tried his hand in a lot of things. We had, what I remember growing up, we had Turner Garage. He did that for a while, working on cars, and it was also a gas station, so I remember that. Lots of candy. Of course, I'm going to remember that.
Yeah, of course.
Of course. And then he shut that down, and I know my brothers talk about he was also into like coal business too. Like he was, drive coal, deliver coal to different people. He would buy coal from, I think from where he worked. I don't remember the story. I could be wrong.
Yeah.
But then he would have trucks of coal where the brothers would have to go and deliver coal to different people within the city. So he did that for a little bit. And then we had Turner Market. And Turner Market was, I didn't like it because I was in junior high school at that point. And that took a lot of my playtime, time to be with my friends, because after school I had to go to the store and work till close. But it was fun, but it was hard work, but it was still fun because got to meet new people. The lady that who worked with my father, that lady, Miss Ruth, I love that lady dearly. She was, even though she was older, I loved that. She was like a very, very good friend. And then when we closed the store, of course, she moved away. Her daughter lived in Maryland, so she moved away to live with her daughter. And so then after that, my father started Turner Paving, where he did Turner, like driveways and parking lots. And that business became very successful. I mean, when I say very successful, very successful. And it is till this day, it now is in its 4th generation.
Wow.
So that inspiration of entrepreneurship, just seeing that, and I didn't realize it until things started happening and percolating within me, and I'm going, I'm like, I am my father reincarnated. Trying all my hands and all these different things, which I'm loving. So that's how entrepreneurship started for me. Yes.
So your father had many businesses. You talked about the grocery, you talked about the gas station, you talked about working in the store. So how did that build your character, or also put the desire in you? And it seems like you weren't even aware
Right.
that character was building,
Yes.
nor interest
Yes.
was building.
It was just to see the hard work he was doing, and the passion that he had to do, and the purpose he was doing it. He was doing it for his family,
Right.
to make sure we had a roof over our heads,
Yeah.
make sure we had clothes and we had food.
Yeah.
And then he put like, well, I'm not sure that there may have been grants and things for, like, I know for me when I because I do have I don't have a degree, but I have a lot of college credits. And
Okay.
one day I may pick it back because I don't have that many. I'm not that far away to where I can get my degree. But he put, like, I know a couple of sisters and a lot of us, because there's a lot of us. There are 11 children. Most of us do have some college credits, whatever.
Right.
And then my sister, I know the one who was in Toledo, who was an educator. She went on. She got her college degree. She got her master's degree, and then she got her PhD. But that was later in life.
Wow.
He didn't pay for the master's
Right.
and the PhD.
Right.
But for her undergrad, I'm sure he probably contributed, maybe not the whole thing, but back in
Right.
those days, college wasn't very expensive either.
Yeah.
So I'm not sure if he paid for her whole college, or she got grants or scholarships to go. But just to see, like I said, just the passion for him to work and he wanted us to all succeed. And I tell people, this is one memory of my father, my mother too, because they were just a beautiful power couple. They were the power couple that I saw. And just to see my father, like on Sunday mornings especially, my mom's in the kitchen and she's getting his breakfast ready, and he's at the table and he's standing at the dining room table and he's praying. And he calls out all of his children.
Wow.
I'm getting emotional. All of his children, everybody's name, all of his grandchildren's name. He called everybody's name, and he prayed for us every Sunday.
Wow.
That never stopped until he was not able to do it anymore. Until sickness took over, and he wasn't able to do it anymore.
Wow. Susie, I mean, this conversation, when you talk about intimately passionate, so I can see that through just the emotion and the memory of talking about your father. But you also mentioned that the pavement business is now in the fourth generation. How valuable is that for us in times like this to provide generational businesses or generational wealth for our family?
Yes.
How do you?
And that's me at this point, because I'm thinking about, with Gray and I Slay, I'm thinking about my son. I'm thinking about my grandchildren, even though my financial advisor told me to stop thinking about them. This is about you right now. You're retired. You worked hard. You think about you, living for you. But I'm planning for my son and my grandchildren. That's what I'm doing. And so it's just like my father. I'm not sure if he thought how far this would go, if he even thought about that. But my oldest brother, he came off of his job to help my father run the business. And then when my father became ill and wasn't able to do it, of course he took over it. And then when my father passed away, he became the owner. And now his son is running it. And my son, my nephew and his son are now working together. So my nephew has sons that are working the business. So yeah.
That's an awesome story. So tell us a little bit about you as an entrepreneur. So was Gray and I Slay the first venture that you launched?
It was not. And actually, I knew just from being with girlfriends and having conversations, like intimate conversations, confidential conversations. And they would always say to me, Susie, you need to be a coach. You need to be a coach. Because you're so encouraging. Every time we met, that would be the ending of our conversations. You need to do something. And I knew I had to do something with women. I knew it was something with the women, but I wasn't sure exactly what it was until Dr. Tremaine Young, who is the owner of and founder of the Attention Fit Trainer, he sold some of his bands. I don't know if he may get me for calling them bands, but he, the TFTs, he sold them to a very large automobile company here
Okay.
in that has a plant in Central Ohio.
Okay.
He sold a lot of those bands there, and then they invited him to come and do a few classes there.
Okay.
And then out of that, they wanted him to train some of the people that were in the classes, so he did.
So they could continue.
Yeah,
it.
so they
Yeah.
can continue
Okay.
without him coming all the time.
Okay.
And so they came to the TFT Fit Lab.
Okay.
Well, it wasn't the Fit Lab. Was it the Fit Lab? I think it was the Fit Lab then. They came and got certification. Well, he offered me the opportunity to also be certified. And I said, okay. So I took the classes. I wasn't sure what was going to become of it. And then after I did that, he then gave me opportunities. When he came, couldn't lead classes, he gave me
Yes,
opportunity.
I remember
and then
that.
He also gave me an opportunity, what we call Susie Happy Hour. So on Fridays, I would have had the opportunity. I think I did it for like 8 weeks. So women would come to the lab, and I was able to, just train them. We would have fun. We called it Susie Happy Hour,
Yeah.
and it was just a lot of fun with women coming. And then from there, he gave me the opportunity to lead classes when
Yes.
when he was unavailable.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, and so that kind of started.
That
So
started.
tell me about Gray and I Slay, because we really haven't spoken about that specifically, where the name came from, what's behind the name. Tell us a little bit about
then I
that.
have to go back to COVID.
Okay.
So January 2020 was the last time I got my hair colored. Okay, so that was before everything shut down.
Okay.
So when it was time for me to go back to get my retouch, the salons were closed because March 2020,
Yes.
everything shut down.
Yes.
And so I wasn't able to go get my retouch. And I can't remember what month the salons reopened, but I said I'm good because I looked at my hair and it was gray. I mean, the gray was really popping. Not a whole lot, but it was popping. Like
Okay.
right around my edges and in the back, especially in the back, it was like really coming through.
Okay.
So I said, you know what? And then what I did after the salon closed down, it was time for me to get my retouch. I went to the store and I bought a box of Clairol retouch, and I was going to do it myself. And I have colored my hair before.
Okay.
But for some reason, every time I wash my hair and I set that box out on the counter to put my color in, I couldn't do it. I felt
Couldn't put it back
sick.
in.
I couldn't do it. I felt sick at my stomach every single time. And so, like I said, when the salons reopened,
Yeah.
I could go back to her to get my color. I just decided I didn't
Yeah.
want to do it.
Wow.
And so that was like the birth of Gray and I Slay.
Okay.
But I didn't know it was going to be Gray and I Slay until like 2022, like 2 years later. That's when Gray and I Slay was born. Because my gray was coming through, and I'm thinking to myself, we can be gray and still be cute.
Yes.
We can be gray and still slay.
Right.
Why do we, because I know I don't judge anybody who wants to cover their hair.
Right.
I'm not judging anybody who wants to do the Botox and get rid of the lines and the saggy skin. I don't judge anybody. That's
Right.
you. I'm graying my way and I'm aging my way.
Right.
And that's what you need to do.
Right.
Do it your
Yeah.
way.
Yeah.
So that was how Gray and I Slay was birthed. Yes.
Yeah, and I love it. So you started Gray and I Slay. Did you start with products? So we have a few of just the clothing items. I know there's more. You have caps and different types of leggings, but did it just start with a product?
It started with the product.
Okay, it started with the product.
Yes.
But what else is behind Gray and I Slay? I know you talked about intimate conversations you've had with women, and as a individual or female who's over 60, I know that there are thoughts of, there's less years ahead of me than there are behind. There's thoughts of, oh, can I really do this because I'm 61, 62? But what's really behind Gray and I Slay? How do you promote women who are gray and women who are aging?
Yes, that we're still beautiful, that we still matter.
Yeah.
We're not invisible, and we sing. We are seen,
Yes.
And so that's my inspiration behind it. That we don't have to go away. I mean, this is not like our grandmother's aging.
Right.
It's not.
Yeah.
We are powerful women, and if God gives you a vision to do something, you need to act on it. I don't care what age you are. You could be 70 and he gives you something to do, act on it.
Yeah.
And that's exactly what I did. I mean, those thoughts still come, because my son asked me on one of the podcasts, was there a lot of fear? And I told him, yes, absolutely. And there still is fear. There's still fear. When he gave, like the podcast, when he gave me the idea for a podcast, that was scary, because you look at yourself, you look at yourself in the mirror, and I'm like, okay, all these wrinkles, this saggy skin, all this gray hair. Who's going to listen to me? But there's I have an audience. There is an audience of women who are not accepting their gray, who not accepting the saggy skin. You know, and the Bible says that gray hair is a crown of the Lord. It's the glory of the Lord. So why wouldn't I want to represent Him well with this gray hair?
Right.
And that doesn't mean I have to be like go somewhere and sit down and be quiet. And, no. I can still be flashy and fly, dress the way I used to dress. I can continue to dress that way.
Yeah. I love that. I love the fact that you're embracing where you're at, and you also are not just for those who are already encouraged, but your message is a great message to those who feel opposite, who feel like, oh, I need to sit down because my time has ended. So that message is an awesome message. I love the fact also, Susie, that you're doing other things. You just mentioned a podcast. So tell me a little bit about how Gray and I Slay are moving into other areas to connect with women and to help deliver this message of being who you are, where you're at, and being able to slay it, not just move through it, but it's slay.
You got to slay it.
So so tell me about some of those other.
Yes. Recently, I was invited to be a moderator of a panel of women, and it was regarding wellness. There were women who had breast cancer, women who were survivors of breast cancer, different other kinds of cancer. There was like a varied of this one lady had like a crippling disease, but it was all regarding wellness. And so they asked me to come and be the moderator, and it was powerful. It was just like freeing for me. And actually, the guy who videoed, I haven't looked at it yet. He sent me the video. He said, I got some awesome shots of you. And so I'm going to go this afternoon, hopefully be able to spend some time and look at that video. But so it was wonderful. Meeting, connecting with women, and just the connections and network. And they got to hear my message about graying and slaying and how I feel about it. So,
I think it's very encouraging. There's something about the power of connecting with women. It's a different level of energy when you're connecting with women than you have when you're connecting with men. And I also want to go back. There's a couple things you started talking about, Jesus Christ is the Lord and Savior of my life. You talked about a scripture in the Bible that talked about gray. But I love the fact that when you think about what you're doing, that you're aligning your initiatives with the Word of God, and you're aligning it with what you say God has given you, He's put in you. So you know that what you're doing is purposeful. How do you know that, and what's your words of advice to other people? How can we know that the work that we're doing is purposeful?
Well, I call it ministry. And then just this week, I told the Lord, I said, you are the CEO. I'm getting out of the way, because you're giving me all, it's coming from Him. All the visions, all the ideas is coming from Him. So I'm backing up. I am your assistant. So whatever you tell me to do, that's what I'm going to do. But you are the CEO. You are the driver of this business. And so my advice to women, I mean, like I said before, if He gives you something to do, if you feel an inkling of something that you want to do, and you don't think it's God talking, but it's Him talking to you, telling you to get out there and do it. And just do it. Don't look at how old you are. Don't let age, Don't let negative talk, your own negative thinking,
Right.
your own negative words stop
Right.
you. And of course, you're not going to let anybody else come to you and say, "Girl, you're too old to start that. Boy, you're too old." No, don't let those words get inside of you. You kill those words before they have a chance to get inside of you and have those seeds grow.
Yeah.
Don't do it.
Love it.
Don't do it.
Is there anything that you do, any type of practice that you personally do in order to keep your mind focused on those positive things?
When my first thing when I wake up in the morning, before I jump out of the bed, I lay in the bed every single morning. Before I get out of the bed, I always lay there and just thank God for another day.
Yes.
I just thank Him for watching over me while I slept. I always say that, and keeping me in my right mind.
Yes.
And then I start thinking about I can see. I thank Him for being able to see, hear, taste, smell. I can touch,
Yeah.
and then being able to, because I know I could. And even though I haven't walked out of the bed just yet, but I know I can walk, and I begin
Yes.
to thank Him for that.
Yes.
And so that's how I keep myself motivated. That's how I keep myself inspired. It's just God.
Yeah.
And things that He's doing in my life, the opportunities that He's given me,
Yeah.
and I know that there's going to be a lot more. So I'm getting ready. That's how I
Yeah.
stay prepared. That's how I get myself ready, and that's how I stay prepared.
Yeah.
This is Him.
I love that. I love that you spend that time and that your focus immediately is that it's going to be a positive
gonna be a
day.
day- it's
So
gonna be a
you're
great
jumping right into
Yes.
positivity.
Yes.
So I love it.
Yes.
Susie, this has been such a great opportunity to talk to you and just to hear a little bit more about you. I think the last question I have is, where do you see Gray and I Slay going? What's the end story to Gray and I Slay?
You mentioned that about the podcast summit I went to in Atlanta.
Yes.
There was a young lady, and I'm not sure, she came up to me and she says, and I forget her name, but we connected we have like a chat for our group, and I hope she will, contact me again, because she said she was going to, I think her name's Courtney, but I could be wrong. But anyway, she asked me if I would come to her on her podcast, because she wants to do a thing with like multi-generational. And I was like, oh my God, that's what's on my heart. To be, because, and even like with my son coming to my first, and then my girlfriend's son coming to my first
Yes.
podcast, and even though we talked about
Yes.
things that they need to know for like their aging parents.
Right.
So that multi-generational,
Yeah.
getting them involved and getting them to see older
Yeah.
people. When you
Yes.
see somebody older, step out and help them. You see they're struggling with a grocery bag, struggling to get to their car, stop and help. So
Right.
this is what we do. This is what I'm trying to impress on them.
Right.
So it's like a multi-generational thing now.
Yeah.
And this girl that I met at Nordstrom, she's, I call her my makeup artist now. And so I was there last Saturday, and I told her, I said, I want you to come on my show. And
Yeah.
she goes, I would love to. But of course, she went on talking about she needs to lose some weight because cameras make her look 10 pounds heavier. And I said, girl, get over yourself.
Yeah, right.
We need to get this information
Right,
out regarding
right.
how what you're doing.
Right.
And not only that, how you can help older people. Help me get the message out. Makeup for older,
Yes.
how they can still wear it.
Yes.
And there may be a specific, something that you can tell them to do to maybe decrease the lines in their
Right.
faces or
Right.
whatever. But this is about multi-generational now, making sure that they are seen. That relationships can continue
Yes.
between the two
Yes,
groups.
yes.
So that's where
Yeah.
I am now.
So what I hear is that Gray and I Slay, that there's not an end, there's a
no end.
continuum.
There's a continuation.
So tell us how we can connect with you, how we can get involved, get some of your wonderful product, and just be able to help support Gray and I Slay.
Well, I can be found on all platforms
Okay.
at Gray and I Slay.
Okay.
On Instagram, because somebody else had the name how I wanted to spell it, took it, already had that name, so I had to put period. So on Instagram, it's gray.and.I.slay.
Got it.
But
got
everywhere
it.
else, Facebook, LinkedIn. I'm not on Twitter yet.
Okay.
I got to get on
You
Twitter.
gotta get on Twitter.
Got to get on Twitter. But everywhere else is Gray and I Slay. My podcast is out there. We are on episode 4.
Episode 4.
Yes, we started in July, and we're now on
All right.
episode 4. So and we got big things planned. I don't know if I can give it away, but I have a certain videographer and his wife, if I may say, who will be on my show very soon.
Okay, that'll be interesting to
Talking
hear.
about marriage.
Okay.
And then one of the girls that I met at the wellness event I attended, she's a she does mammograms
Okay.
for the James
Yes,
Institute.
yeah, that's so
she's coming
important.
in October.
Okay.
And I'm trying to get this one lady that I used to work with who was a breast cancer survivor 7 years. I'm trying to get her.
Okay.
She hasn't responded yet, but if she doesn't respond, I'll get somebody else. But because October is Breast Cancer Awareness Month.
Yes.
And so
yeah.
she gladly accepted to come. So, and if not, we'll just have her and just have her talk about, what she's seen, what she knows about breast cancer and other cancers. So, yeah.
All right. Well, on behalf of I.Am.Institute, Susie, I am so excited, first of all, that you're a friend.
Yes.
A family. I look at you as sister.
We're family.
Yes.
That's right.
And we appreciate you taking time out. Want the audience to please connect with Susie Turner, Gray and I Slay. And until next time, thanks for attending I.Am.Institute.
And thank you for having me, Myrna. This has been awesome. I admire everything you do. You're such a professional. You're so beautiful. I tell you that all the time.
Yes,
and
thank
you've
you.
always been, accepting to model for Gray and I Slay. And I appreciate you and your husband for all the things that he does for Gray and I Slay as well. So
Thank you.
Thank
Oh,
you.
my
Thank
pleasure.
You for inviting me and having me.
Yeah, my pleasure. All right, babe. I think I want to tape it one time through where I just want to go. I want to go over where she starts talking about her father. I would just want to do that again. So you have several clips of that. So I just want to take a piece where we talk about getting into entrepreneurship. So we'll start talking a little bit about your father, and then if you could condense, my father had several initiatives that he started. He was this, he was this, he was this. Some of the initiatives went on for years and they were very successful. One that is a continuum is blah, blah, blah. So just kind of condense all of those. And then what I want to do is come back and say, so you were born into a family of entrepreneurs. So it was destined that this was the road you were going.
44 minutes on that one. So.
Okay.
That was 44 minutes?
That was good.
Oh, no, that's
No, 44 minutes left.
Oh, left.
Oh, okay.
Okay, I was going to say it sounded like 20 minutes to me, but
So no, it was a little bit longer.
okay.
So Susie, I want to do a deeper dive into your story and how it relates to intimately passionate. So I know that you come from a history of entrepreneurs. So let's just start there. Tell me a little bit about your background and how that relates to entrepreneurship.
So for me, my father.
Wait. I wanted to, your strap is showing. So I've been trying to
Yes, and a wardrobe malfunction. Okay.
Yeah, it's not so much on that side. Okay, now it's off.
Okay. This one?
Nope, but it's good on both
Good on both
sides.
sides,
Yeah.
okay.
So let's start off. So Susie, I know that you come from a long line or history of entrepreneurship. You talked a little bit about Gray and I Slay and that this is one of the initiatives that you've started, but this is, let me start over. So Susie, I want to welcome you to I.Am.Institute and really focus on intimately passionate. Give us okay.
You're doing good.
Now I'm getting tongue tied.
You're
Okay.
doing good.
So so we're going to start from the top. So Susie, I want to welcome you back to I.Am.Institute. In this segment, we want to focus on intimately passionate and how it relates to you. I'd like to do a deeper dive about Susie Turner, the co-founder of Gray and I Slay.
The founder.
Yeah, the founder.
The founder.
Let's start over.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's okay, Myrna. You're doing good.
It's 10 o'clock. So Susie, I want to welcome you back to I.Am.Institute. This is a segment to Intimately Passionate. And I want to spend this time with you to focus on a deeper conversation about Susie Turner and Gray and I Slay.
Okay.
Now, I understand that your father was an entrepreneur, and that's really how this got into your blood.
Exactly.
So tell us a little bit about your father, the businesses that he had, and how you were connected with those businesses.
Okay, so my father was not only an entrepreneur, he was also a pastor.
Okay.
And not a mega pastor, but he was a pastor.
But he was a pastor.
Pastor still.
Okay.
Exactly. So he also was a coal miner. That was, that's what brought home the money to feed 11. He had 11 children.
Okay, wow.
Even though all 11 of us didn't grow up together, but there were still 11
11,
children still.
okay,
Yes.
okay.
Between my mom and that's what they had, 11 children.
Okay.
And so my father, being the type of person that he was, he knew that he needed to do more than just work a regular job. And a lot of times the coal, if there was something, an accident or something that happened in the coal mine, they had to shut it down. And they
Right.
were shut down for
Right.
like weeks. So he
Wow.
knew he had to have something else, a multiple streams of income. And that's what he did. He had multiple streams of income. So he started out with, from what I remember, a Turner garage,
Okay.
which is also a gas station. So he worked on cars, he fixed cars, and then we had a gas station as well.
Okay.
And so I was too young. I went there, and of course, like I said, there was lots of candy in the store.
You remember the
that-
candy.
I remember the candy. So the
Okay.
candy always drew me to want to go to the to the garage, and so that didn't last. From my memory, that one didn't last long.
Okay.
And then he got into, and maybe some other things, but our Turner Market. I
Okay.
vividly remember that one because I was old enough then to go in and work. I had to work the register, bag the groceries, restock that little thing where you had to put the price
label,
labels.
yes.
I did that. That was
Yes.
fun though. 'Cause
Yeah.
we would play and putting the price tags on
On
everybody.
each other.
Yes.
Oh, I can just
So
imagine.
that was
Yeah.
a lot of fun.
Yeah.
And even like the deli area, I probably was too young to work the slicing machine. Probably had no business being back there.
Right.
But I'd be back there slicing bologna
Okay.
and whatever meats he had back there. So it was like a full-fledged market. 'Cause we
Wow.
did have a deli.
Wow.
All kinds of cigarettes. Even though he preached against cigarettes, we had cigarettes in the.
Of course, of course.
I don't remember beer, but we sold cigarettes.
Okay.
It may have been some beer, and I just didn't get to see it. But anyway, so we had that, and so that lasted maybe 2-3 years.
Okay.
And
Wow.
so he closed that down, and then he went into Turner. He called it Turner Asphalt.
Okay.
And so that's when he went into paving driveways
Right.
and parking lots, and that business. That was the one. That was the one that
Okay.
took off
Okay.
and became very successful.
Okay.
And like I said, today it's in his 4th generation.
That's
so my father
amazing.
got sick and he wasn't able to work it. Well, before he got sick, my oldest brother came off of his job and he was working along with my father, learning the business. Probably making it better than what my father did.
Right.
Because he was younger.
Updating it,
Yeah,
right,
updating it, had new
right.
ideas, fresh
Modern
ideas.
stuff,
Exactly.
yeah.
So they did that until my father became ill, and then my brother just took over. And then when my father passed away, my oldest brother he became the owner, and he changed the name from Turner Asphalt to Turner Paving.
Love it.
Yeah.
Love
and so
it.
now his son, my brother passed away, so now his son.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Because his son came and worked with him. Then my brother passed away. Now his son is running the business.
Got it.
Yeah.
Wow.
And so my nephew, his sons, I think it's 3 boys. I think he has 3 boys. They're learning the business,
Okay.
so that if he
Okay.
became to a point that he's
Amazing.
doesn't want to do it anymore, he comes up with something else.
Yes.
Then those boys are now
Amazing.
be able to take it
Amazing.
on
Amazing.
and take it on, and
Yes.
it'll continue for as
Right.
long as
Right.
hopefully forever.
Right.
Yeah, that Turner Paving will be around. Yeah.
And I'm wondering if your father at the time was just trying to make ends meet to take care of his family, if he really knew that he was creating generational wealth.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's what I wondered too. That comes across my mind as well. If did he know?
Right.
And Myrna, sometimes I think, how did my father, not being educated, how did he know how to go out, get customers? I mean, I know it was like word of mouth, but like I always said, but how did
How was he
get the first-
marketing this?
Yeah,
Right.
how did he get the
Right.
first customer?
Right.
How did he know how to go out and measure
Yeah.
driveway
Right.
so that he got the right amount? How did he know to do that? Innate.
Yeah.
And I know
Yeah.
it was God
Yeah.
directing his steps
Yeah.
on how to do
Yeah.
it. I
Yeah.
know it was.
Yeah.
And then just to see, like I said, now how my nephew, he's got all these fancy rollers, he's got these fancy trucks, and he'll take a picture of something that he bought, new equipment that he bought. So he's taking it to a new
Another
upward.
level.
Exactly.
Absolutely.
And then his sons will do the same
Absolutely.
thing. They'll continue
Absolutely.
online
Yeah.
now. They got a
Yeah.
Facebook page. We didn't have a Facebook.
Right, we didn't have social media.
We
Right.
didn't have a Facebook
Right.
back then. But just to see how he's marketing the
Yes.
business, it's
Yeah.
just been awesome.
Yeah.
Just to see how it's continuing.
Yeah. I love in the Bible how it talks about the Lord will give you wisdom to make wealth.
Yes.
And so if
yes.
we order our steps, that God will give those things to us to be successful.
Yes.
And I also love, hearing your father was a preacher. And I remember you telling me earlier that your dad every Sunday morning would pray for each one of his children
Yes.
and intercede for them.
Yes.
So being able to do that, those prayers,
Yes.
like he's covering generation to generation to
Yes.
generation,
Yes.
and you can now see it. You
Yes.
saw
Yes.
the seed planted with
Exactly.
him.
Myrna, every opportunity that I get to tell my nieces and nephews about those prayers, and the reason
Yes.
why they're all very successful
Yes.
is because my father.
Yes.
He's the one. Oh gosh,
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
sorry.
No, I love it.
He's the one why everybody is doing so
Yeah.
well. He
Yeah.
did it. He
Yeah.
prayed,
Yeah.
even though he may not have known exactly what he was praying for, but he prayed over all. He called everybody's name out, even the grandchildren who were alive at the time, and hopefully for the ones who weren't alive and who didn't get a chance
Right.
to meet him,
Right.
they're still being blessed by those
Yes.
prayers.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. That's the intimate passion. That's the intimacy, and that's a passion that I've noticed from you in your endeavor. Whether you know it or not, you probably know it now, but your father was planting that entrepreneur seed in
Yes.
you.
Exactly.
Those hours that you worked in the grocery store that you
yes.
didn't want to be there, you
Yes.
wanted to be out
and those
playing.
phone calls that I answered for Turner Pave,
Yes.
Turner Asphalt, those phone calls,
Yes.
taking down customers' names,
Yes.
getting what they wanted to
Yes.
pass a message on to him at that time. Yeah, because they were calling our home. There was no business line. They called
The home
they had
loan
our home
line was the
number.
business line.
That was the business line.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
And we were the receptionists.
Yeah. Unpaid.
Unpaid.
Right,
Yes.
right.
Oh my God, I could go into a story where some of my oldest one, because I was in HR. Oh my God, this is a funny story too. But some of my older siblings, when we had the store, we didn't get paid.
Of
And so
course.
they were like upset because we were working them hours, but we were not getting paid.
Okay.
And so I remember we were in the girls' bedroom. My brother, one of my older brothers, was in there, and they had me. I was.
So you guys had a petition.
Yes.
Okay.
They made me write it.
Okay.
So I'm writing.
All right.
And I'm writing. Yep. Yeah. We need to say that. Yeah. Put that in
Right.
there.
You're taking this
So
to your dad, right? To the
taking
owner.
it to the
All
dad,
right.
Wrote the letter, put it in the envelope, and I handed it to him.
Okay.
And Myrna, for weeks, he didn't say a word, nothing. And then one day he came to me. He said, "Let's go for a ride." I was nervous.
He chose you.
Yeah, he got me
because you were the
I'm the
deliverer.
one, I was the deliverer. It was my handwriting, so he got me. And so we went for a ride in one of his pickup trucks, dump trucks, and which was always, to me, was fun because those trucks sit up real high.
Right.
Yes.
Right.
And you can see far away in those trucks. But anyway, he just said the letter, and he just said, your payment is a roof over your head, clothes on your back, and food. That's what he told me. And that was the end of the story. There was no yelling. There was no reprimand. There was nothing. He just let me know that this is how I'm paying you.
Right.
You're eating. You
Right.
have nice clothes,
Right.
and you have a nice place to
Yeah.
live.
Yeah.
That's your payment.
Yeah.
And I said nothing else. That
Yeah.
was it. End of story.
So my husband says, so it shall be said, so it shall be done.
Exactly.
And it was
Over.
said, and it was done.
Yes.
And we moved on.
And we moved on.
Right.
So he just had to
Right.
let me, since I was the deliverer of the message, I guess
Yeah.
my job was to go back and tell the other people,
Right.
okay, this is what he said. Don't ask me to do that again. But but I didn't realize that was the beginning of my HR skills.
Okay.
Because
Yes.
I'm in the negotiating. I'm,
Right.
going after, fighting for the
Right.
employees.
Right.
I didn't realize that's what
Right.
was happening to me.
Right.
That was the beginning
Right.
of my HR skills.
Yeah,
So,
I love
yeah.
that. And it's interesting how you can go back and now put those things in place, how that helped you to get here. But those were skills that God was building
Yes,
and grooming
yes.
and perfecting so that you could be excellent
Yes.
where you're at now.
Yes.
I want to really talk about Gray and I Slay because Gray and I Slay started with a product, right?
Yes.
But you're doing much more than just this clothing line.
Yes.
Tell us a little bit. I understand you started a podcast.
Yes.
So tell us about the podcast.
So the podcast, and then I have it started out, the athleisure wear podcast. I got invited to be a moderator. And so the podcast, we started that back in, I think it was June or July. I'm losing track of time because everything's going so quick. But that was my first episode.
Okay.
And it was
Tell us about that
It was
episode.
like multi-generational. I had my son here.
Okay.
And then, here because it's in the studio.
Okay.
And my girlfriend had her son, and we talked to our children about what they needed to know as their parents are aging.
Wow.
What
Right.
things we're going to be
Right.
telling you, what things we're going to be sharing with you,
Right.
so you have this
Right.
information that is something. That's what I tell myself. If I come to the point to where I'm not able to speak for myself or
Right.
think
Right.
clearly,
Right.
these are the things I need you to know about your mom.
Right. So they know where the will is,
know-
where the
yes.
trust is. They know how
need to
to
know all
divide
that
your
information.
estate.
Yes.
They know what your desires are
Yes.
if you're in an accident.
Yes.
So
and I'm unable to take care
Yeah,
of myself. I mean,
yeah.
I laugh at my son because I'm like, okay, you're a boy, and I know you don't understand, but you're a mom. I love lip gloss. When I was working, I've recently retired, and when I was working, one of the first things that'll come out of my purse is my lip
your
gloss.
lip gloss.
Lip gloss on my desk all day long, and I'm refreshing myself all day long. So I'm like, that's one of the things you have to remember. Make sure your mom has her lip gloss on.
Yeah.
And I said, you look at your mom's hair. Look at the way your mom dresses, just so you know how
Right.
to make me look. That's what
Right.
we did for my mom.
Right.
Me and my niece were talking about that yesterday. How my mom, when she was 99, and
Wow.
probably 3/4, almost 100 before she passed. Well, she passed away at 100, but she didn't go downhill until she was like 99 3/4
Okay.
maybe. And that's what we did for her. We made sure she was clean
Every day.
every day, because that's the
Yes.
way she
Yes.
dressed every day.
Yes. Yeah.
We did her hair. We did everything. Even though she was sleeping most of the day, she was dressed
Yeah.
the way she wanted
Yeah.
to dress. Yeah.
yeah, love it.
Yeah. Yeah.
We're going to take a pause and fix your bra.
Okay. This side again. I think it's because
can-
because
can
I'm
go.
leaning too much this side, but yeah.
So, Susie, tell me a little bit about Gray and I Slay, because what I'm hearing when you talk about the podcast and some of the other things that you're doing, you moderated at a wellness event. Gray and I Slay is beyond just athletic wear, or it's beyond just this clothing line.
Yes.
So what's your vision? How do you see Gray and I Slay impacting the lives of people?
Okay, so when I was in Atlanta a couple of weeks ago, I met this young lady who I had already started thinking about this too. I don't know, she's out of the blue, she just stopped me. And she, of course, complimented my hair. She said, I love your hair. She says, but I wanted to see if you would be interested in doing like a multi-generational podcast. And she goes, it'll be me and you. And she goes, I may have some other people come on as well, but she goes, maybe me and you mostly. And I said, absolutely. I said, because I was thinking about the same thing. How can I make this where young people get information, get knowledge about, they're going to one day age, and let them know that they don't have to go sit down, be invisible, that they can still be, they can still slay as they gray. And so that's my next thing now is taking it across generational lines. Yes.
So Susie, when I look at you, I would never think that you're over 50. Never think that you're even over 45. So there's a lot of education. When I hear you talking about generation and podcasts, educating, there's a lot of information that young people need, old people need too, so that when they get over 40, over 50, that they've done the right things so that they can walk, run, you go up and down steps, not be on lots of medication and, have pains and ailments. So how do you see Gray and I Slay helping in that fitness and that wellness area?
Yes, and that's one thing I do promote is fitness and how the importance. This body is a temple, right? That's what God called. He said his body is his temple.
Yes.
And so I just try to be aware of what I eat, what I'm putting into his temple, what I'm doing. So what I'm eating, what I'm listening to, what's coming out of my mouth, what I'm saying. I try to pay attention to all of that to take care of this temple because it's his. And so this is how I, give myself back to him by taking care of myself.
Yes.
I work out. I watch what I eat.
Yes.
I drink a lot of water.
Yes.
I may drink a glass of wine, one or two every blue moon, but mostly putting water in my body. And just making sure I get enough proper rest, reading his word every day, which is vital. I'm reading other things, watching other things, but I start out my day with his word. That's how I start out his day. And that's how I end my day too. I end it when I go to bed. So just taking care of like I said, being mindful of what I'm doing with this temple of his. Because it's his.
Yeah. So Gray and I Slay is beyond, I just can't get over it. I'm so amazed. It's beyond just these material things. When you talk about the health and wellness, you talk about this temple, you're talking about holistic, you're talking about what you listen to, what you read, what actually comes out.
Yes.
And what you put into your body from an eating, so mentally, physically, emotionally, all of those things, spiritually, all of those things can connect back to this one business that God planted in your life.
Yes.
Amazing.
Yes. That's how he's doing it. That's what he does.
Yeah.
That's
amazing. He is beyond, he'll do beyond what we can ask, think,
abundantly
or imagine.
Above all we could ever ask, think, or imagine. That's what he does.
That's awesome. And I can see it materializing in your life. I really am so amazed. I remember you working the 9 to 5, and I remember you being the coach at the TFT Fitness Lab, and I think that's the first time that you and I actually...
That's how we met.
Right, we met each other. I was so impressed with just your ability to perform at that level. TFT is it's pretty, it's tough.
Exactly.
Right, it's no joke. The first time I did it, my first session, I had to run outside because I was sick after the workout. So I was amazed at how you were able to not just do the class, but you were instructing and teaching the class.
And even when Dr. Trey was leading the classes, I was still there, like especially newcomers, coaching them.
Yes.
And even when there were no newcomers, still coaching the team, we got this, we can
Yes,
do this.
yes,
Come on, let's
yes,
come
that
on.
encouragement.
Yeah, that
Yeah,
encouragement.
yeah. So I see how the Lord has used your father in the entrepreneur, your sisters
Yes.
in the administrative
Yes.
HR piece, even the TFT, that period of your life to be a coach, to be a motivator, to
Yes.
be someone who encourages and also someone that plants the seed.
Yes.
And all of that has led to the birth of Gray and I Slay.
Yeah, and to what it
Yeah.
is today.
Yeah.
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 So,
Yeah.
yeah.
So what's next?
ooh, just again, just the multi-generational. That's what I'm working on now. Getting, like I said, I met a young lady who did my makeup last Saturday and love her.
That's even another
So,
piece, that the outward piece, that's even another
yeah,
venture
exactly.
for you to go
Yeah,
into.
exactly.
Yeah.
Just taking care of your skin. And
Yeah.
I did when I was in Atlanta. Well, I bought one. I buy a lot of gadgets. But I bought this tripod that sticks to your mirror, like your bathroom mirror, any mirror.
Okay.
But I stuck it on the bathroom mirror when I was in Atlanta. And I just walked through how I did my skin. And I got.
I
I'm
saw
gonna put
that.
out. I haven't put it out yet.
Oh, I
haven't put that one
I
out
saw
yet.
something where you were walking through. Oh, maybe it was cleaning your
Oh, the brushes,
brushes.
the makeup brushes. I
Yeah.
did that, yeah.
Cleaning your brushes.
But the skincare, I haven't done that one yet. But
Okay.
it's coming.
It's
gonna
coming.
out, yeah.
Okay. We'll be
Yeah.
looking for
So,
that.
yeah.
So I want to, again, just remind our audience of how we can connect with Gray and Our Slay. So how can we continue to follow Susie Turner, Gray and I Slay, and tell us a little bit about the platforms that you're on.
Yes, so I am Gray and I Slay on all platforms. Gray and I Slay. There's spaces out between.
Gray and I Slay.
But on IG, I had to do gray.and.I.slay.
Got
So
it.
that's the only one
Got it.
on IG. But everywhere else, I'm Gray and I Slay. And is spelled out A-N-D,
Okay.
not
Okay.
the ampersand. Yeah.
All right. So we just have to remember on Instagram that we have to put that dot, that
Yes,
period
in between
everything.
every word,
Gray dot I dot and dot slay.
Yes. On
And we'll
Instagram
find you.
only. Yes, how you'll find me on Instagram.
We'll find you.
Yes.
All right.
Yes.
Well, I'm looking forward to hearing more about Gray and
More to
I
come.
Slay.
Yes, I'm excited to
Yeah.
hear myself to hear more
Yeah.
about
He's
what
like,
God
I'm
is
excited
doing.
about what
Yes.
God has
Yes, Gray
for
and I
me.
Slay. So
All
yeah,
right.
because more things are to come.
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, thank you again. It's my pleasure to spend time with you as always.
As always.
And we'll do it again.
Exactly.
All right.
Thank you.
My pleasure.